snakes are full of surprises. At the rear end, they have a noisy apparatus which distracts enemies and causes them to sweat at their brains instead of their heads, where their brains and fangs are. As with other snakes, they have no noses and smell with their tongues. So when you see a snake gliding towards you with his tongue darting ahead of him, he is not trying to frighten you. He is merely taking the air. The most surprising thing about these creatures, however, is their capacity for love. When they mate, the male inserts his lively penis into the female, and they wrap around each other for 9 whole days. During this period, they seek neither food nor water. Nor do they appear to excrete, for they have a common orifice called the cloaca. Such commitment to love is difficult to find anywhere. When mating is done, the penis is withdrawn into the cloaca and it becomes impossible to distinguish male from female. This story, however, is not about reptiles. It's about humans. It is a story of Ganesh and Gita. Ganesh resembled the elephant god of his name. He was a stocky fellow with a low hairline and an enormous nose that lined his face. Gita, on the other hand, was a soft, beautiful and slender as a note played on a single reed instrument. They were the most improbable of couples. At their time, men believed in God and God believed in man. That is to say, God deceived man in every turn, played cruel tricks on him, but nevertheless called on man to serve his unknowable purpose. Like the people around them, Ganesh and Gita were Hindus, devout Hindus. They believed in the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, the spiral of karma, which, if you lived your life correctly, carried you upwards towards everlasting enlightenment, but if you didn't, dragged you down to the level of beasts. As soon as they set eyes on each other, Ganesh and Gita fell in love. This would have been alright, except for one thing. They were married, but not to each other. As a young lad, Ganesh had married a bride appointed by his parents, and he couldn't complain about the girl chosen for him. The Santo was as light and sprightly as spring rain. Gita had done likewise, and her man Prem was a model of propriety and husbandly love. So they had no reason, no excuse to find each other. But find each other they did. And when they did, they couldn't believe what they had found. It seemed absurd that flesh could sing so sweetly that time stopped. But they were good Hindus, religious folks, and like all religious folks, they questioned what God intended by causing them to come together. After all, joyfulness could never be its own one.
God is telling us their child wants to be born. A life crying out for existence, Gita. We are the vehicles of the purpose.
Then why not a child from you and Vasanta, or one from you and Prem? Wouldn't that be proper and would not offend the code of Dharma?
It could be that the astrologers were wrong. We were mismatched for a man's misreading of the stars.
It is clear that in our past lives we were rattlesnakes. Some memory of this remains. You and I have been good Hindus except for this one transgression. All God can do to punish us for our present failings is to return us to our former state. When we are born again, we will be born as rattlesnakes. And is that not what we really want? We cannot be sure, but we have to trust in God.
And to return as rattlesnakes?
We must die now and return to our former state.
Kill ourselves, you mean?
Yes.
The rain came and the river rose. Rose till its muddy waters invaded the huts of the poor living on its banks. At their birth, the astrologer had warned that water would be dangerous to them, and they should never go near it. Because of this, neither had been to snake. Hiro was glad that she was a snake. Her belly was heavy with eggs and she was aching for a meal who could make them come to life. She yearned for a meal, but not any meal. She yearned for Ganesh. He was around, somewhere, and she would find it. She was careful to avoid the attention of other males. Whatever the eggs told her body to do, it would be pointless spending 9 days enjoying with a stranger. Gita searched and searched for Ganesh, and had almost given up hope when she found him. She shot out her tongue to get the male smell that would make her arteries damp and the eggs in her belly churn. Nothing happened, but she knew it was Ganesh. Her Ganesh. So she slithered across and began wrapping herself across his body. Ganesh seemed disturbed, almost ashamed. But Ira was not put off by this. He had always been a little shy. She pressed her damp orifice against his and began the gentle gyration that would cause his penis to protrude. Nothing emerged. She flicked out her tongue to smell him again. There was no sharp male smell about him. Instead, the odor she got was exactly the same as that which came from her body. As karma promised, they were reborn as rattlesnakes, but both as female rattlesnakes. As always, God has the last laugh.